Ask a translator. Ever tried telling a joke to someone who doesn't speak your language? It's awkward, you're laughing, they're confused, like you're from another planet. Communication is everything. It's how we connect, do business, make friends, fall in love. But with over 7,000 languages, it's easy to get lost in translation. For centuries, people have tried to bridge these gaps. We want to know what others are thinking, feeling, or even selling. Imagine running a business or ordering food in a country where you don't speak the language. You're left pointing at menus, hoping for the best. This struggle to connect is universal. It's why we've dreamed of a universal translator for ages. And it's not just about jokes. Think doctors and patients, families separated by borders, world leaders trying to make peace. The stakes are high. People have worked on this problem for generations, long before smartphones. They knew that understanding each other could make the world a better place. The quest for translation is about breaking down walls, and it all starts with the simple desire to be understood. Before smartphones, translation was a human job, and a tough one. Translators spent years mastering languages, acting as bridges between cultures. If you wanted to read a foreign book or sign a treaty, you needed them. It was slow, painstaking work. No instant answers, just thick dictionaries and lots of guesswork. Words can mean different things depending on context, so translators had to be cultural experts too. For most people, talking to someone from another country meant hand signals and awkward smiles. International business? Only if you could afford a team of translators. Travel was an adventure, but mostly just trying to find the bathroom. The language barrier made the world feel much bigger. People got creative. Phrase books with basic questions helped, but real conversations were impossible. It was like building a house with just a hammer. The world was hungry for something faster and better. The stage was set for a revolution in translation, and that revolution was about to begin. Then came computers, giant machines with a bold new idea. Could they translate languages? In the 1950s, during the Cold War, the US and USSR poured money into machine translation. Early computers tried to swap words one for one, but language isn't that simple. Famous Felweed seker per seker r d. Vaint she bar. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak became the vodka is good, but the meat is rotten. These systems were based on grammar rules, but language is messy and full of exceptions. Teaching computers all those rules was impossible. The results were robotic and often nonsensical. For decades, machine translation was more joke than tool. But researchers didn't give up. They realized word-for-word translation was a dead end. The breakthrough? Feed computers massive amounts of human-translated text and let them find patterns. This statistical approach was a game-changer. Computers started to learn which phrases matched up in different languages. It was the first real step toward useful machine translation. The groundwork was laid for the next big leap. Translation tools were clunky until Google showed up in the mid-2000s. Google had a secret weapon data, billions of documents already translated by humans. Instead of teaching grammar, Google's system learned from examples. This was called Statistical Machine Translation, or SMT. When you typed a sentence, Google broke it into chunks and searched for the most likely translation. It stitched the pieces together into something that usually made sense. It wasn't perfect, but it was miles ahead of anything before. And it was free, for everyone. Suddenly, anyone could translate. No degree or dictionary needed. Students used it for homework, businesses for emails, travelers for menus. It wasn't always accurate, but Weitzer, ongebruikerd, verbacher braker en niker zijn, iberdeencher vratser, ongebruikerd was fast and good enough to get by. Google Translate became one of the world's most popular tools. Its real power? Accessibility. It put translation in everyone's hands. People could connect, share, and understand across borders. The world felt smaller, and language was less of a barrier. Google didn't just improve translation, it democratized it. The dream of universal understanding was closer than ever, but there were still some hilarious hiccups along the way. Google Translate was a breakthrough, but it wasn't always right. Early on, it could get things hilariously wrong, like a contestant on a game show with a wild answer. The machine didn't get humor, sarcasm, or culture. It just matched patterns. Menus and signs became internet memes. Stir-fried squid turned into the squid that is fried by Wikipedia. Idioms were a disaster. It's raining cats and dogs might become small animals are falling from the sky. One famous fail: a Welsh sign meant for trucks was translated as an out-of-office email. These mistakes were funny, but they showed the limits of the system. The machine was smart, but it didn't really understand. If it hadn't seen a phrase before, it just guessed. The gap between machine and human intelligence was obvious. But every fail pushed engineers to make translation smarter. The next leap was about to change everything. Google knew translation could be better. In 2016 they launched the Google Neural Machine Translation System, GNMT. This was a whole new brain for translation. Instead of translating piece by piece, the neural network looked at the whole sentence. It tried to understand context and relationships, like a human would. The system learned grammar and meaning on its own. Translations became smoother, more natural, and far more accurate. Errors dropped dramatically overnight. The machine wasn't just swapping words, it was learning meaning. It could handle tricky languages and even translate between pairs it hadn't been trained on. The AI created its own internal language to represent ideas. It was a breakthrough that made translation feel almost human. The machine was finally starting to think. Today, Google Translate is everywhere, right in your pocket. It breaks down barriers in real time, all over the world. Tourists in Tokyo can point their phone at a sign and see instant translation. That's augmented reality, changing how we experience travel. The app can act as a personal interpreter. 2 people, 2 languages, 1 conversation. It's used in hospitals, disaster zones, and by refugees finding their way. It's a lifeline for millions. It helps us connect with global music, news, and culture. We can see the world through someone else's eyes. The journey of translation is about bringing people closer together. Technology keeps improving, making translation more accurate and human-like. One day, we might have a perfect universal translator. When that happens, we'll be one step closer to a truly connected world. The dream of understanding each other is within reach, and that's no joke.